At Christmas dinner, my billionaire son raised a glass and bragged to everyone in the room. I give my father $10,000 a month so he never has to struggle. Everyone clapped. My hands shook. Because the truth? I hadn't received a single dollar from him. And what I discovered later made that lie feel like the cruelest betrayal of my life. My name is Richard Collins. I'm 67 years old, and for most of my life, I thought I had raised my son to be an honest, hard-working man. But that night, that Christmas night in his golden mansion, I realized I had raised a liar, and worse, a thief. The dining hall looked like something out of a magazine. Gold chandeliers, 20-foot tree with glass ornaments, tables lined with silverware I was afraid to even touch. I sat at the far end in my old gray suit, the same one I've worn to every family gathering for years. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Everyone was drinking wine, laughing, the sound of champagne glasses clinking. My son Michael stood tall, designer tuxedo, his beautiful wife by his side. People looked at him like he was royalty. Then, in the middle of a toast, he smiled and pointed at me. And of course, he said loudly, I give my father $10,000 a month so he never has to worry about money again. He deserves the best after everything he sacrificed for me. The room erupted in applause. Business partners, politicians, family friends, they all turned their heads and smiled at me, nodding with respect. But I froze. My heart pounded. My hands gripped the table. Because I knew the truth. Not only had Michael never given me $10,000 a month, he hadn't given me a penny. And then I noticed it. My daughter-in-law, Jessica, smiling that cold, sharp smile. Her eyes locked on me, like she was daring me to speak up. I didn't. I forced a smile, lifted my glass, and nodded. My chest burned with humiliation. What nobody in that mansion knew was my real life. I lived in a small, damp apartment on the edge of town. The paint peeled from the walls. The heater barely worked. Most nights I ate canned soup or microwave noodles. I worked part-time as a night guard just to keep the lights on. At 67 years old, I should have been resting, enjoying retirement. Instead, I was standing in cold lobbies at 3 a.m., wondering if this was all my life had come to. And yet, I had sacrificed everything for Michael. When his mother died of cancer, I sold our home to pay for his private school. I worked double shifts to fund his Ivy League education. I skipped meals so he wouldn't have to. I thought those sacrifices would build him a future. And they did. He became wealthy, successful, married into an even richer family, but he erased me from that future. Except tonight, where he used me as a prop to make himself look like the perfect son. Michael kept going, smiling like a saint. Family is everything, he told the crowd. My father taught me that. He never has to worry about bills or money. I take care of him, just like he took care of me. The guests clapped louder. People looked at me with admiration. Some even said, "You raised a fine young man." I wanted to scream. I wanted to stand up and shout, "It's all a lie." But then Jessica leaned close to me. Her perfume was sharp, her voice sharper. "Don't ruin Michael's night, Richard," she whispered. "Family comes first. Just smile and nod." Her hand touched mine, not gentle, but firm, like a warning dot, so I stayed silent. On the outside, I looked like the proud father of a billionaire. On the inside, I was crumbling. Later that night, while the party carried on, I slipped away to the bathroom to breathe. My reflection in the gold-framed mirror looked like a stranger. Old, tired, broken. That's when I heard it. Two men near the door, laughing and talking. "Michael's smart," one of them said, "using his father's name for those tax shelters. No one can question him if it looks like he's supporting the old man." My blood ran cold. Tax shelters? Using my name? I pressed against the wall, listening harder. "Yeah," the other replied. "On paper, it looks like he's paying the old man 10 grand a month. But really, the money just cycles back into Michael's accounts. Genius move." My chest tightened. So that was it. Michael wasn't just lying about supporting me. He was using me. My name. My identity. To look generous while pocketing money, it wasn't generosity. It was fraud. That night, I smiled through the rest of dinner. I said goodbye politely. I even thanked him for hosting, but inside, something had changed. I wasn't going to stay silent anymore. For weeks, I started digging. I requested my bank statements, tax records. I noticed suspicious entries, accounts I'd never opened, documents I'd never signed. Michael had forged my name. At first, I cried. I told myself maybe he had reasons. Maybe I misunderstood, but the evidence was too clear. He had stolen my identity for years. And the world thought he was a generous son. So I decided I would let him destroy himself with his own lies. A month later, Michael hosted another dinner. This time, investors and executives were present. Big names. He gave the same speech, same lie. My father never struggles. I sent him $10,000 every month. This time, I stood. "Actually, Michael," I said loudly. The room fell silent. "That's not true." Gasps. Heads turned. Michael's face went pale. Jessica's smile vanished. I pulled out papers, bank statements, tax forms. For years, Michael has used my name to funnel money. I never saw a cent. He built his reputation on a lie. The crowd erupted in whispers. Businessmen frowned. One man muttered, "So that's how he's been doing it." Michael tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. "Dad, you must be confused." "Confused?" I snapped. "Confused about the fact that I live in a broken apartment while you parade me around like a trophy? Confused that you stole my name to cover your fraud?" "No, Michael. I'm not confused." Silence. Jessica grabbed his arm, hissing under her breath, but it was too late. The truth was out. The fallout was immediate. Executives pulled back their investments. Some left the table that night. Rumors spread quickly that Michael lied about his generosity, that his success was built on fraud. Within weeks, the media caught on. Investigations opened. Michael's empire cracked. As for Jessica, she stopped calling me altogether. I heard later she fled to her parents' estate, leaving Michael to clean up the mess. And me? For the first time in years, I walked tall. I wasn't rich. I wasn't powerful. But I had my dignity back. I realized something important that night. Sometimes silence protects your pride. But truth? Truth restores your honor. Michael thought money could buy him respect. But when the truth came out, he lost everything. What would you have done in my place? Stayed silent to protect your son's image, or exposed him like I did? If you made it this far, comment. Truth always wins. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that hit hard. Turn on the bell. You won't want to miss the next one.